be quite honest, I'm not sure what I'm going to say, so I hope it goes well. I'll sort out about 10-15 minutes. I'll try and take 10 minutes. So basically, maybe I can start with a journey. I'm a pathologist, and I can see quite familiar faces. Hi everyone. The government slaps us with taxes, 18%, other things. You can imagine, if I have to buy something and it will cost me everything about 15 million shillings, it's a cost that I have to translate to the patient. So actually, it's not he's not the originator of the idea. It was his boss who visited me from Germany. He came to see our lab. Then it goes like, you guys are doing a lot of pap smears because we are doing about 12,000 pap smears. Then he's like, why haven't women taken up HPV testing and pap smears? Then I told him some of the issues. One of them was costs. They told me, look, if you can get the numbers, can we get you the machine? I said, it's a chicken and egg situation. I don't have the numbers, so you can't give me. You have to take a bold step. Give me the machine and decide how much you're going to charge us, and we will charge the lowest cost possible. And you can back me up. The actual cost of the test, per test, is $22. We just did the mathematics now. We just did the math now. It costs about $22, including taxes and everything, per test for the reagents. But it is because it's costing that much because of the volumes. And now we are basing on the fact that we'll probably end up doing about 1,000 a month.
So as we sit here this morning, there are hundreds of females in our continent that are losing the battle to cervical cancer. There are 1,000 more females who are completely unaware that they have HPV or cervical cancer. Yet, it is all preventable. Good morning, and thank you for the invitation, Dr. Kalibi, Dr. Rabia. It's a pleasure to be amongst you, and it is indeed a momentous day. I think momentous for three reasons. Firstly, it's momentous because of the partnership with Lancet Kenya and the launch of an HPV program in the market. In today's world, the challenges we have is about the adoption of technology and then creating access so that people can use the technology that could benefit them. At Roche, we pride ourselves in providing access, but also providing the advancement in technology so that we can cater for the needs of the population. We can address the disease burdens that are facing our people today, not just in the first world countries, but also in our continent, Africa. We also know that HIV positive females are 5 times more prone to acquiring HPV or cervical cancer. And we know that given the burden of HIV in our continent, the risk for our females in Africa is much higher. So now we can do something about that and really have a test that can give them a definitive answer on whether there is something to worry about and whether there is an action that needs to be taken, or if the result is negative, it's the comfort of thought knowing that depending on what the local regulations are, whether the female needs to come in 3 or 5 years later for another checkup. What it means for the healthcare system, though, is that when a patient is positive, because of the HPV test being so specific and sensitive, the clinician can work and has more time to deal with the patients that are positive, so that they can have clinical intervention and to prevent the progression of disease, or to really understand how progressed the disease is.
HPV is the leading cause of cervical cancer, the only cancer that is preventable through vaccination and regular screening. The statistics as of November last year show that in Kenya, almost 5,000 cases of cervical cancer are diagnosed every year. Of this, almost half of the cases that are diagnosed die. This is to say that almost 2,500 people die every year from a cancer that is preventable. What this machine does is identifies using molecular technology whether the person being tested is infected with any of the 14 high-risk strains of HPV that result in cervical cancer. Of the 14 types, the 2 main types, 16 and 18, can be identified. These being the main types that cause 70% of cervical cancers. This method was approved 2 years ago by the FDA in America and is currently used there and in Europe for the primary screening of cervical cancer. In Kenya, the current techniques used for screening are PAP and visual inspection. At present, less than 10% of the people who are at risk of cervical cancer actually go for screening. With this new technology, we hope to increase the number of women being screened and ultimately decrease the number of deaths caused by cervical cancer every year. Without further ado, let me introduce Dr. Catherine Murithi from Roche, who will explain further on the partnership of Lancet and Roche with this machine. You pull the brush back in, cap it up, and drop it back to the lab, as it is.
So, it's that simple. Let me repeat. Maybe this is the first time I'm handling it. But, so it comes like this in a packet, it's sealed. It's usually sealed so that you're sure that it's clean. Now, we will be supplying it with a barcode, which means you can use that barcode to query your results and all that. So when it comes like this, no big deal. You open it. Now, this is really soft. Eh? It's quite soft. So don't think it's some hard thing. Eh? Nice, soft. It will do nothing inside there. Yeah? Quite soft. So you take this thing. Now, the reason why it has these wings, I say like always with wings, is you don't want somebody going all the way inside. Because people don't know the anatomy. You're supposed to push up to this. Yeah? So, up to that. That's all we need to collect. I mean, the vagina is usually wet. It has fluid inside. All you need to do is just collect the fluid, put it back, and I'm waiting for the day when you come to Lancet. I want an Evelyn brush, or I want a self-collection brush. If I don't even say anything, it's there in a dispenser. You take it like that, you take a condom, put it in your bag, go home with it. Or go to the toilet with it. Yeah? If you go to the internet, there's even a picture of how to use it, or a video. It's that easy. The picture must see this.